for Dave Osborne. Norm Macdonald. Podcast, whatever the hell he did. Norm Macdonald show, I don't know. He popped up just now. Dead. It's the Wilhelm face. The dead haunt us still. We won't let them die. That must be why people didn't want their pictures taken. These people, they say, it takes our soul. Of course. It's all part of the plan. All this stuff that we're doing is stuck here in the underlying fucking fabric of our society as we evolve. When there's no more room in hell, people will live on in the YouTube. And so it's episode 1, season 1, or whatever it is Norm's doing with that sidekick of his, and they've got Dave Osborne, and the name Andy Dick comes up. And they're saying they love him, and it makes me think of when I was at 90.5 FM KSJS San Jose. San Jose! We would get all kinds of free tickets to things. This is what it is to be on the radio. You get to see things. They expect you to talk about them. Sometimes it takes 20 years, but you know, still got you, man. It's all come around now. I understand what it was. They had this ticket thing that I took in the city in San Francisco. It was the Spitfire spoken word tour. I got the ticket stub somewhere. I guess I'll have to dig it out of my bag of tricks. It had Chris Novoselic, whatever the hell he is, his name from Nirvana. He was up there, he was doing spoken word. Jello Biafra was there. He was up there doing spoken word. One thing I remember about him, he's a good speaker. He's very eloquent, very engaging. Yeah. He had talked about that Dianne Feinstein lady who was like mayor of New York or something, and it was the Twinkie murder. He talked about, and I don't know if this is true because I haven't looked it up myself, but I don't think I've ever even repeated it until now. I realized that's really fucking something to say something like that if it's not true. I just see how easy it is. I fucking believed him. He said Dianne Feinstein, who became like a senator or a congresswoman in California. She was like the mayor of San Francisco or something, and she wanted somebody out of her way that was causing problems. This is his story, if I remember it right. And she paid this sheriff guy or something, or coerced him somehow. I don't know. It's 20 years ago. This is how history changes. As history started with the act, and it's complete with my story. This guy went and killed somebody, and that was the Twinkie Murderers Massacre or something. He blamed it on a sugar high. It was like about 2000 or something. I suppose you could look it up. You could say Twinkie murderer and it would probably come up. I'll probably look it up and put something down there. Ain't it sweet? I'm doing the towel dance. And Jello Biafra spoke about how when he decided to run for mayor of San Francisco, how the rules, and they talk about keeping somebody down, you know, which side or the other. The rules stated that he couldn't use his, you know, Jello Biafra from the dead Kennedys. They were around when I was in high school. Everybody knows the name Jello Biafra. Not everybody, but anybody knows of the punk community and such, they'll know Jello Biafra. And so when it comes time to vote, are you going to vote for Jim Wilson? Who the fuck is that? Well, that's what they did to him. I don't know if his name is Jim Wilson. I don't remember what his real name was. I don't know if he even said it. I didn't look it up. But he said when he was running for mayor of San Francisco, they required that he use his Christian name. He said, my Christian name? How the hell is anybody going to know me? Christians aren't buying this shit. They wouldn't allow him to run as Jello Biafra. He says, that's my name. That's what people know me as. And so there was Jello Biafra in there. Somebody else was saying something about Ted Nugent. It's funny because people choose to despise Ted Nugent. They choose to despise him. Things I've heard him speak of, and he used to be a local. He'd come through town to hunt up from Jackson or wherever the hell he was. He'd come up to our area, and my brother would come home with a story about how his buddy was working at Mel's Standard, and here comes Ted Nugent in his big four-wheel drive Bronco, zebra painted. And yeah, he just seemed like a cool guy. And I just listened to him, and I say, I don't know everything. I haven't listened to him in the last few years. You have to give me that. But growing through the years, the things he'd said about hunting cougars and shit like that, it made sense to me. So somebody had said something about Ted Nugent and guns. And as soon as they said Ted Nugent, there I am in the back with my free ticket. And I said, yeah! Because I knew it would fucking bother everybody. People didn't want to come and support Ted Nugent. They didn't. So just fucking let everybody know that you can say what you want. It might not change anything, but you have that option. So I said, yeah, just because it was so fucking quiet. And so they had one or two other people. I saw the spoken word tour. I saw Henry Rollins in one too, but that was when I was in Kalamazoo. And Andy Dick was one of these people, and he was talking about his drunk driving. He was talking about things. He's just saying things, you know. And like these things, the time I saw Oliver Stone talk, I had a question for him that I wanted to convey to the people. I say that in that way because sometimes there are people out there that would like to ask that question themselves, but they think, oh no, I don't want to be embarrassed. And so I go up because you should be ashamed of yourself. No, I am ashamed. And I don't touch myself. So then there's a line at the end of it where you get to go up and ask people questions. And Andy Dick had spoken already. And I never talked about this because I thought maybe it might be saying something he wasn't ready to say yet. But I've seen him in the last few years speak, on things. And evidently he doesn't have any concern about it whatsoever. But I'm standing in that line waiting to get up and ask a question at the end of the night. I don't remember what it was. It was going to be something that I felt like people might want to know, but we're afraid to ask. That's what I do. Why make everybody ask when one person can say it in front of everybody and they all hear it and they can decide for themselves? But I'm standing in that line and there was like a light on the crowd and I'm sitting there and I never made it up there because they shut it off before that and said, everybody get out of here. But I'm standing there and I look and there's Andy Dick standing up there. And he's just looking at me. And this is full eye contact. I turned and he was just staring at me. And I'm like, and you got to realize, I haven't always looked like this. I used to be such a sweet, sweet thing, and that's the thing too, you have to wonder. Based on that, because you do what they call gay things, does that make you gay? There was something else come up earlier today that and it's about really the idea how many people are actually homosexual and how many people actually are just doing it because they're horny and they couldn't get anywhere else. How many people have actually been groomed for this? How many people have just done things because they were horny and nobody else would give it to them? Talk about why there are no good men left. It's because the girls in high school never fucked them. They're like, well, that guy over there. That's what they do. Hey, there's the old man with the money. He's going to take you for a flight in his airplane. He's licensed pilot, Something that there always going to be somebody luring people in. So are they really gay? I don't know. They just did what you would call gay things. It may be that they like a little bit from the other side. They just can't get it. So there's Andy Dick looking at me. And he had the look of someone that really wanted something. And I'm standing there, I'm like, well, this is weird. I don't know. And so I never talked about it, but as it turns out, he's not even gay. What I heard him doing in an interview the one time, it really is like he's just taking it where he can get it. It's just a thing. Funny, man. News, radio, and all kinds of other things. But the things you can learn in a spoken word tour, if only you open your ears.